Is Chris Morris out of Arkansas a real take for us, considering how late we are offering? Secondly, what difference will Manny have this week, quote, being more involved?
Those are good questions. I'm going to try to answer questions a little bit quicker for the rest of today because I know that you guys have a lot of things that you want to talk about. Number one, Chris Morris is an offensive lineman out of Arkansas. He projects more as a guard, but there is film of him working at tackle. He's a guy who spoke to Bud Elliott at one of the opening regionals over the summer. And when asked what team he wanted an offer for that would change his recruitment, he said, and I quote, Miami. Directly like that, because I spoke to Bud about it. So, I hope that, this is a thing where we can get involved. I don't know why we waited so long when he's on record in public speaking to people. And, he's a guy who did well at the opening regional and things like that, talking about, Miami. I want that offer that would change things, that would alter the landscape of my personal recruitment. I don't know why it's taken till October to actually reach out to him, but hopefully we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say that he's a take right now, but obviously looking at the offensive line, he is a guy. I mean, we still need guys and lots of them. So hopefully Miami is really considering turning up the pressure on Chris Morris. Right. And, Miami's not been able to recruit well when we have bad seasons. Other teams can do it. Notre Dame goes 4-8. They're a national brand, so it is what it is. Florida State goes 5-7. They have a top 15 recruiting class. They recruit better than Miami in that year that they were that bad. Isaiah Walker Jr., who I've spoken of here many a time, he goes to Norland High School. Norland High School is literal walking distance from Hard Rock Stadium. I know people personally who park over in that area near the high school and the middle school and the elementary over by Norland, and walk to the stadium instead of parking in the stadium parking lot. That's how close to Hard Rock Stadium it is. There is no other. I mean, it's got to be a mile or under from Norland to Hard Rock Stadium. Isaiah Walker Jr. just committed to Florida this past weekend. You know what I mean? So, he has literally the closest possible proximity to the stadium where we play, and he's going up to Gainesville to play for them. It's going to be a problem. It is. And, if these coaches don't have a clear paradigm for recruiting, which to this point I'm questioning if they do, it could get ugly. And, I know it was the last thing that I put in the recruiting rules, but it might be the most important rule, which is rule number 9, win. Again, it is the positive proof of your concept. And if you're talking about, hey, we brought back these senior linebackers to do this, and we're going to do this and that, and then, you have this plan, and then you go out and not accomplish those things, sad days, I'm telling you.
To your point, at the same time that Miami's on national television losing to a Virginia Tech team that had a deplorable track record going into the game and was a 14-point underdog, anybody watching those games and flipping around could flip at that same time window at 3:30 Eastern time to the Florida win against Auburn and see Florida in the SEC beating a top 10 team. And it's tough to make a decision, to put your faith in a situation where you can make that direct comparison. And you're a Florida kid, you want to stay in Florida, and you're looking at wins and losses and where these two programs sit currently.
Yeah, and I got 2 TVs set up over here, so I had those 2 games on. So I'm watching Miami and I'm watching Florida at the same time. And obviously you're fighting for a caliber of player who's maybe a step down from, the elite guys who are all going to, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State. But, you can't, Miami lost out on, 5 offensive linemen to Florida in last year's recruiting class alone. Now you have your number 1 guy who you've been on for 2 years, and he also chucks you the deuce to go up to Gainesville after you done lost out on all those other dudes to Gainesville. Yeah.
Where Cam at the same time, and you know this better than me, 5 weeks earlier, just 5 weeks earlier, sure, you lost to Florida, but the case could be made by the coaching staff. Hey, look at what we've got going. We just went head-to-head with these guys. It's a toss-up game. We had a first-time starting quarter. You could make the case for, we've got this thing going in the right direction. We just started. We just played a top 10 team. We played them to the wire. We went head-to-head. Boom. But 5 weeks later, and 6 games or 5 games into the season, it's difficult to make that claim.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If Miami had come out and handled business after that game, losing and I hate that conversation, but everybody does it anyway. The Florida loss would have been one of the best losses that any team in the country had.
Mm-hmm.
You play a field goal game against a top 10 team. They just beat Auburn. If you're sitting here at 4-1 and you beat, everybody else on the schedule, look, Miami's in the top 25. You're probably talking top 20, top pushing towards 15. You say, look, they played this well. They played these other games really well. So Miami's not as good as Florida, who's number 8 or 7 right now. But yeah, there's a clear case for them to be, 15, maybe even a little higher than that. But you lose all that cachet when you go out 2 weeks later and you let, Sam Howell slice and dice.